5 months to improve your grades. What are you waiting for? Hello guys, my name is Dr. Mali, also known as the Teen Fairy, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about my high schoolers because y'all respond so well to the other videos of me just mentoring you guys, and honestly I just love doing that because I am a high school mentor. So I do help high schoolers frequently. I help them with their academic life and their social life, and I know how it is being a teenager, being stressed about getting into the right course, your dream university. So you guys can already see from the title down below what this video is gonna be all about. Number one, write down your goals weekly. In high school and in university, I found what helps the most is writing down your goals weekly instead of monthly or quarterly or annually. This helps you keep track of what you actually want to achieve. For instance, if I'm writing a test in 2 weeks time, or I have to submit an assignment in 3 days time, I literally sit down every week. It could be a Sunday, it could be a Saturday, it really doesn't matter, and just write down my goals for that particular assignment or test. This helps me keep myself accountable for the things I want to achieve, so I work harder in getting them. So you can jot these down either in a journal or just on a scrap piece of paper. It really doesn't matter. Or you can write it in your notes on your phone, so you can always go back to it and remind yourself, okay, so this is the goal and this is how I'm gonna work hard to achieve this goal. If you're a visual person, you can always go on Pinterest, create a nice mood board for yourself. I also do this, but this is more for like long-term goals. I will have like different pictures of different things that I want to achieve or different things I want to get in my life. So when you're writing down your goals weekly, especially when it comes to academics, you want to be realistic but not too realistic. Like being delusional is okay, but not cray. You're a 50 average student in your academics, let's say for maths or life science, and your goal at the end of the year is to at least get a 70 or maybe a distinction. So what you need to do, you need to start small. So okay, I'm in my 50s, I'm stuck in my 50s. Go with the 20% rule. What is the 20% rule? You add 20% to what you want to achieve and make that your goal for that particular test or assignment. So if you get 50s for your maths test, you want to try to get a 70. If you get a 45 for physics, you want to try to get a 65. Instead of trying to get 100% and push yourself into something you know that you can't achieve, number one, and you're gonna overwhelm yourself and get all this anxiety for nothing. And every time you achieve your goal, you push it higher, but you don't push it by 20%, you go less. So if you get that 17, try to aim for 80. You get that 80, try to get that 85. So you keep pushing it little by little. Like you just keep pushing it. You don't push yourself too much to the point where you're just anxious and you feel like you're not achieving your goals, because that happens frequently. Not all the time we get to achieve our goals. So the last thing you want to do, create these unrealistic expectations of yourself when you know you're getting your 40s and you want to get 90. Come on now, sis. Like, I'm not saying it's not possible. Prayer and hard work will get you so far, but you need to start small so that God can bless you to higher heights. Number 2, make a schedule. So our daily lives are very different. I might be someone who's very sporty, so I have a lot of extramural activities after school. Maybe you're not into extramural activities, but you are very involved in societies, or that is extramural activities. Anyways, child, what I mean is maybe you're like more of the debating girl or drama class girl. So we have different things that we do after school. Some of us have to look after our younger siblings. Some of us have to look after our elderly. Maybe you have a sick parent at home, or maybe you have to do chores, or maybe you're even a teen parent. You don't want to create a schedule that looks similar to mine. So you need to create a schedule specific to what your life looks like. So if you need to do chores, give yourself an hour to do your chores. or maybe you should start off with your homework, and then you know, okay, at 5 o'clock I need to start cooking. And all these things, you know, they play a role in how you perform academically, believe it or not, because the more time you have for academics and less for all the extra stuff, the more your marks could actually improve, because you're actually giving yourself more time to understand and grasp the concepts that you go through in class. And also it gives you more time to go over your homework and complete it, and not just copy it off your friend the next day. I'm guilty of copying off my homework, but that will just leave you confused in class when you're going over the questions and answers. Yeah, you're gonna have the right answer in front of you, but what is it for? You don't know how you got to the answer. If someone asks you to please explain on the board, where will you start, baby? Go on Canva, pick any template that you want, and then start designing your schedule. So give yourself at least 2 to 3 hours of anything extra that you do. So that could be sport, that could be going to your debating class, that could be doing chores, that could be helping your little sibling with their homework every evening, okay? Then give yourself at least an hour or an hour and a half for extra work. Focus on 2 subjects a day. So let's say you decide on Monday you want to do maths and physics, on Wednesday you want to do English, Afrikaans, Sotho, whatever. You need to decide that you're gonna pick 2 subjects that you're gonna do extra work. I suggest that when you're creating a schedule, try not to make it every single day. Try to do it every other alternative day. So this will give you enough time to maybe do homework. Sometimes we get a lot more homework and you can't really do more of your extra work. So you want to give specific days, maybe on Wednesdays and Mondays, you're going to do extra work, and then throughout the week, you're just going to focus purely on your schoolwork and your homework, okay? So for maths, maybe you can focus on a particular section. If an exercise has like 20 maths sums, you can do like 5 or 4 and know that, okay, you got 4 extra math sums done, and that's like besides your actual homework. You need to be more flexible and not to put too much in your schedule, and you end up feeling overwhelmed and you end up not completing any task, whether it be your extra work or your school assigned work. Another thing, when you're creating a schedule, you can also have a checklist to match your schedule. So I have to allocate different times for different things, right? And also I have to allocate time for YouTube. So all these things become overwhelming for me too. What I help my schedule with is my checklist. So my checklist, I just jot down like keywords. Okay, YouTube video, help mentor with school assignment, do this, do that. So it's just like little short things that keep me accountable for going back to my schedule and making sure that everything is done at a specific time so that I know it's out of the way. This makes me feel so productive, like a productive queen. Like I just feel like I'm in my era, you know what I mean? You can see all the progress that you're making so that you don't always criticize yourself. I'm very hard on myself, especially when things become a bit too much for me. It gets a lot at some point, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, I bit off more than I can chew. So you don't want to feel like that. Trust me, you don't. So try to keep it simple with your schedule and add your checklist to make yourself more energetic and optimistic for the next big thing that you need to get done. Number 3, cancel anything that is wasting your time. When it comes to academics, you need to prioritize. So maybe if you're doing like 4 or 5 sports, maybe you can like just pick your favorite and just focus on those ones, maybe 2 or 3. Just keep it simple so that you're not always out and about in all these batches and sportsmen of the year. If something happens in your sporting career earlier on, or you actually find yourself like, you know what, I don't want to be an athlete anymore, I want to be a doctor. So life changes, interests change. You want to be able to switch from one thing to another. You don't want to focus too much on sport in high school and then find out that you actually wanted to be a doctor and now you don't have the marks because you were not working as hard in high school in your academics than your sports. For me in high school, I already told the story before, I literally stopped everything that was wasting my time. I stopped sports because I wasn't really a fan of sports, so it was very easy for me to make that decision. But for you, it might not. But what I did is you try to supplement an extramural activity that you love or sports that you love with something that takes a bit less time. Or for instance, if you are sacrificing your sports but you want to do an extramural activity so that your application form looks interesting and diverse, baby, you can do things like arts. For me, I decided to do plays in grade 11 and 12 because I enjoy them more than actually being on the netball court. 4. Go the extra mile. We have discussed this in previous videos so many times. You need to go the extra mile, darling. I don't know, I don't know how to emphasize this any further. Like, you need to go to extra classes. Go to all the extra classes you possibly can, okay? So if your school has extra classes, go to all those extra classes. I remember when I was in VP, they had extra classes in grade 11 and 12 for maths, physics, life science, and accounting. And I remember just going to all those accounting extra classes because in grade 11, I was struggling with accounting a lot. And my teacher knew this because I was vocal with her. I told her, you know what, I'm struggling, but I like accounting, but I don't know what's going on this year. So I kept going to those extra classes. She kept motivating me. And I did the same with my other subjects because I knew that at the end of the day, I wanted to leave high school with distinctions, okay? Yeah. On top of those extra classes, I was fortunate enough to have my parents pay for extra classes that I would go to on weekends. So your girl was going to school 7 days a week. Like, I went to school, okay? So yeah, I went to extra classes on Saturdays and Sundays for physics and maths. I was focused. I was like, no more distraction, no more boys. You could either go with a one-on-one lesson or a classroom lesson. In high school, I did both. I did one-on-one for grade 9 and 10. It didn't really work for me. I don't know what was happening. And then in grade 11 and 12, I switched to a smaller classroom, extra class type of vibe. Yeah, well, once I went into a smaller class, it was easier for me to grasp the information. I don't know if it's because I was having support from my friends, my peers, and my teacher, or my tutor. So I don't know, I just grasped the information much better than a one-on-one. I think with the one-on-one, I was a little bit intimidated because I knew I had to do well. My parents were paying for these classes. So you know what I mean? I just felt the pressure. They were more expensive. For the financial aspect of tutoring can be very expensive. So maybe you should try to like limit the private sessions because they tend to be more expensive, and try to go for the free ones or the smaller classroom sessions. 5. Past papers. If you do not go through past papers by now, if you don't even understand the importance of going through past papers, you best click off this video right now, because you guys, I have been preaching going through past papers for literally all my educational videos, like all my guides for high schoolers. I've literally been preaching the same thing. So if you don't get it by now, girl, goodbye. You can unsubscribe. I'm sorry, because you don't wanna level up. Guys, you need to go through past papers. Past papers are very important because even though they don't always repeat the question, which they do, you get to understand the flow of the paper. You get to kind of expect what question can be asked. So sometimes they don't repeat the question like 100% copy and paste, but they'll tweak a few numbers here and there. If it's maths and physics, they tweak here and there old questions from previous past papers to make a new question in your guys' exams. Going through past papers will give you more confidence when you go into the exam room. You kind of know what to expect. You're not as nervous. You're not freaking out like, oh my gosh, they could literally ask anything. I feel like I'm not prepared. Don't do that to yourself. You need to go over past papers. You will feel prepared. You will feel equipped. And you will feel like, you know what? I actually got this. whatever happens in there, I did my best. And number 6, my last point before I go, is to stay positive. You need to stay positive. I remember in grade 11, I was so delulu. I used to tell my friends that I'm gonna be a doctor and I'm gonna go study in Cape Town. And I remember saying it to a group of particular friends at the time, and they all just kept quiet. Not because they didn't have faith in me or whatnot, just because I was so confident and I had so much faith in what I was saying that they were like, this girl, okay, we'll see about that. If you think to yourself, oh, I'm never gonna improve, oh, I'm never gonna go into engineering, oh, I'm never gonna do this, blah, 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 you are letting the enemy win. Don't let the enemy fill your head with false prophets and all these negative thoughts, because what you're seeing now in your reality is not what you are envisioning for your future. It's yet to happen. The reason why you're envisioning it is because God is telling you it's already yours. So you need to focus on those thoughts, those positive thoughts, and keep pushing forward. The minute I changed my mindset, I started going to all these extra classes, doing all this extra work. It's because I believed that I could achieve my goals. And look at me now. I registered a dentist, doing a concept, which is I'm about to complete it. So all these things, all these campaigns, all these opportunities happened all because I let God into my mind, and he just filled my head with positive energy and positive thoughts. Okay, you guys, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I will see you guys on my next one. It's probably going to be a vlog. I have 2 upcoming vlogs that I can't wait to upload for you guys. And yeah, I'm just excited about that. And thank you for always tuning into my videos. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the positivity. I feed off that. It keeps me going, honestly, that and prayer. So thank you so much for all of that. And don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe, girl, and join the fam. You guys are more than welcome to DM me on all my social medias if you want to know more about dentistry or any advice on anything university related, or even socially. You guys, we can have a chat, and then get to know each other on the socials. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Keep well and keep warm. Bye.